These are the low line kicking defense techniques. We're going to go over 4 different options. Number 1 is just what we call a check or a shin up or a shield block. And the key with this is you want to catch it with the inside of your shin bone or your tibia bone. The flat part of the inside of your shin bone. The blade of the front is for more of the kicking technique, offensive technique. The inside is to catch the kicks coming in for defensive purposes. So we're going to work 3 different checks for a low line. First one is a lead low line check. So all you do is just, which is different from the midline shin up block, it's just checking. So you lift your leg up. The target for this person is generally going to be right on the knee. So that's what you want to get your leg up high enough for. So as I check this, it's just a quick lift of the leg and I'm right back down. The key is to open that leg up. It's like 45 degrees off of your hip because this is where the round kick is coming from, the low line round kick. So I just open my leg up and catch it. Open my leg up and check it. Okay. Foot extended outward, so it makes a little more tension and stability on your shin bone in the shin area. Okay. So you just flex your shin and open that up. Your hips kind of opening up. If it's a kick coming across my body from the opposite direction, we're just going to work what's called a crossover check. So I'm just going to bring my leg across, and it's a crossover check. And a crossover check. Again, looking to defend that kick by having it land on the inside of my shin bone, the flat part. And then you can use your rear leg for a check. I'm just using my rear leg for a check. Again, opening it up. If you don't open it up and you just lift it straight up and they're coming from those outside angles, they're going to kick the outside of your calf, be very painful on that muscle, and a lot of times will break your leg in. So it'll take your balance away. It'll break your leg in. So we want to open that shin up, crossover, and the outside crossover. Or, I'm sorry, the outside check. Ideally, or generally, you can just use this lead leg to catch every kick. Whether it's an outside kick or it's an opposite leg kick and a crossover. So you can use this lead leg to catch pretty much everything, but you have this rear leg as well. Second option is just to evade. And we're just going to evade the kick. This would probably be ideal in most situations because we're not getting kicked at all. And so as the kick comes in, we have 2 variations, a bounce back and a step and bounce. The first one is just a lead leg bounce back. I bounce back and step right back in. So the kick's coming in whatever direction from the outside angle. We just step our lead foot back, feet come to where they're in line with each other, a little bit more shoulder distance apart, up on our toes, and then we bounce right back. So lead bounce back. Okay, it has to be really quick, so you got to be up on your toes and right back in for your counter technique. Second one is just a step and bounce. So I step my back foot back a little bit, bounce my front foot, and come right back in. Again, staying up on my toes. Bounce back, right back in. Step, bounce, right back. So I just had a lead foot bounce back or a step and bounce. Okay, lead foot bounce or a step and bounce. And I'm right back in for my counter. In any combat sport where striking is involved, if you don't counter strike, you're not going to be successful. So our goal is to defend these techniques and then counter that technique with a combination or a barrage of our own. Okay? So again, a lead bounce back or a step and bounce back. Next technique for defending the low line kick. You can maybe consider this a defense or maybe not, but it's important that you realize we just call these takes. And in competition or in a sport or even in sparring, everybody's going to get kicked, punched, hit at any certain time, probably multiple times. So we want you to get used to taking the kicks appropriately. So when the kick comes in, the low line kicks, which are tough techniques to defend, especially if there's punches being thrown before them and they're being set up well, is we just want to get our brain telling our body and conditioning it to every time we get kicked in the leg, we make that a stable target for ourselves and we lean into it. So as the low line kick comes in and they're landing it on our knee, or for training you should really practice kicking each other's quad for safety. But as the kick comes in, we just put pressure on our front foot, kind of lean our base forward a little bit to where your knee is almost up over your toes, and it gives us some more stability. And we can take those kicks a little bit more. Rather than they just kick, we don't have much stability in our leg and it breaks our leg down. So we want to have good, strong, stable legs so when they get kicked, we don't take quite as much damage. So I just lean into it. So as the kick comes in, I lean into it. Same way as it comes on the inside leg, as it comes into the inside leg kick, I'm just getting used to leaning in. So I lean in. So I lean on the outside kick, or I lean on the inside kick. Okay? Again, it just gives us a little bit more stability when people are hitting that target, which is going to happen, but it's not, our legs not being broken down quite so easily. So those are just called learning how to take the kick. Okay? Even on the back leg, learn how to take it. You just kind of lean into it. Okay? The nice thing, or the one thing about getting kicked and just taking it, even though they got you, which is going to happen, their timing was better at that point. Once I take it, I'm more prepared and I'm quicker to my counter. Because I don't have my shin up, I'm not evading, and I'm not even going to be catching. I'm just kind of taking the kick, and then I'm going right into my counter, whatever it might be, punching, kicking, kneeing, takedowns. Next one is kicks, or catching the kick. This is good for Thai, but really good for MMA, especially for takedowns. So outside leg kick, as the kick comes in, the big thing here is not to dive for it too many times because people will bait you and then eventually it'll leave your head exposed. So as the kick comes in, it's almost like you're getting it off the retraction. So as the kick comes in, lands here, all you're doing is extending your arm, dipping down with your knees and hooking it. It's like a little hook with your hand. I hook it and I lift and bring it right up into my armpit. So as the kick hits my leg, I'm reaching down and catching it right off of my thigh and lifting it up. On the inside leg kick, if they kick to the inside, I'm going to be riding it. So they're riding the kick. So as the kick comes in to the inside of my leg, I'm riding the kick and I will be underhooking the leg as the catch. And then I can overhook off that and ride it. So if the inside leg kick, I ride the kick, it lands inside my leg, and I underhook it. And then overhook it and ride, or I can underhook it and drive. So those are the takes. We take the kick, or we are going to catch the kick. Outside leg catch, inside leg kick, off the ride, catch off the ride. One more possibility off of a low line kick is riding the kicks. This is a very tricky kind of technique because you don't necessarily want to teach this at too early of a stage of people's training because you don't want them to get used to riding kicks too much. Because what happens, especially on the outside ride, is they're opening up their sciatica and their T-band too quick, and that's pretty devastating on the outside of the leg. We generally want our quads to take whatever kicks we can. But just in certain cases, they land a kick and you have to ride it. We just want to understand the technique. So as the kick comes in and they get their shot in, you just want to ride the kick. It's almost like you're pivoting on the ball of your foot and you just ride it. It takes a little of that force off that front leg. So the kick comes in and I just ride it. Ride it. A lot of times off of our rides, we'll ride it and then we come right back with our straight cross. So anytime, generally we want to train, if we do ride that outside leg kick, we want to come right back with our cross. Okay? The inside leg kick. This is going to be your ride kick as it comes to the inside leg. This could be to the, if he's kicking low to the belly of the calf, or even to the Achilles or foot. We're just going to ride it. So as the kick comes in, hits the inside leg, we're just riding it. So it's just riding the kick. So we're taking, again, pressure off that kick. So instead of leaning into it, we're just going to ride the kick, which eventually leads into maybe catching the kick. So you can ride it and then just look to the counter, or you're going to be riding it and then catching it and looking for takedowns. So that's riding the kick, either the outside leg, or if it's kicking an inside leg kick, just put it into a little bit of a drill. So it exposes you to all the different techniques we've gone over. So he'll be feeding me and I'll just be working through the checks, the evades, the ride, the take, and then the catch. So those are all the variations for your low line kicking defenses. Again, checking it, shin up block, the evading it with your bounce back step, riding the kick, taking the kick, and then catching the kick.